Alright, look, listen, I see that you clicked on the video and I already know what your first thought is. You're like, man, I can't believe this guy. He finally is going to release the long-awaited Bleach Waifu Tierlist sequel. Or I might be scraping the bottom of the barrel. Look, listen, that's not the point. I was just sitting around thinking, you know what? Maybe I can make a sequel to that video. Alright, look, listen, I know that video was posted all the way back in 2020. I was 21, Jesus fuck.
Damn.
It's about time that I finally properly rank the women of Bleach. But the first girl that we are going to rank in this video is Retsu Unohana, who was going straight to the D tier for dead. That was an easy one. All right, so up next we have nah, I'm just joking. That was old me. I would have left her down in the D tier. If I really had to give you opinions about Unohana, I don't know what to think. Look, I'll give props where props are due. Unohana was a strong captain. She did have that good fight with Kenpachi, but besides that, I really don't care about her. So she's staying in the D tier for dead. Alright, up next is we have Nozomi Kujo. Let's be real, who cares? D tier. Alright, let's see who. Okay, up next we have Saruchi Sandwich. Okay, look, listen, I am sick and tired of all these D tier characters. Let's be real, anyone watching the video right now, hit the like button if you are a Saruchi fan. Okay, good. Now for anyone who could give 0 fucks about this girl, hit the like button. Exactly. D tier. Thank you. You know, as I sit here and watch part 1, I just think, man, 21-year-old me was the absolute GOAT for going crazy for Nelliel. Just look at the adult form, the absolute pinnacle of Kubo's designs. Pound for pound, one of the best in Bleach. And don't get me started on her swallowing ability. But we also must remember, this is Nell for like 5% of the runtime. The other 95% is Baby Nell, and Baby Nell is also a peak character. Listen, I understand. We've all been deceived by social media. We get on here on our phones, on our computers, and we see all these cute pictures and videos of babies, and we're like, oh my god, we want one. But then we look at how much it costs to raise one of those fuckers, and then we're like, fuck that. You know what? I wouldn't mind being a father. Not only is Baby Nell hilarious, but she grows up to be fucking Arisa. Once Nelliel goes into the 4-wheel drive mode, you're done. The only thing keeping Nelliel out of S tier is that she doesn't show up much. She has one fight against Noritora that ends with her being saved by Kenpachi of all fucking people. Nelliel, A tier. Up next we have Ikumi, Ichigo's boss, if you guys remember her. If you don't, you know, who cares, D tier. From one character I don't care about to another, Isane. I know you have a fan base. I don't know. I really don't care about you. The only time I remember that you were a character is when I saw Unohana, or that one time you got pieced up by Ichigo. But you have a alright design, so C tier? Up next we have Kiryu Hikafune, 1/5 of Squad Zero, and arguably the most boring out of the bunch. I've never really been a fan of the whole I like food truck, because that character is always doomed to be mid. Once your gimmick is all about food, I'm done. I'm not interested. You're going straight to the D tier for dead, and you know, that's a spoiler too. You know, it's good that Squad Zero has another woman in Senjumaru that can step up when Kiryu can't. And we all know that's true. We all saw her in the main event of the second core, shaking the realms with her Bankai, a star-making performance right here. Senjumaru with 6 golden arms to beat your ass with. She's going straight to the B tier. But stop right there. Let's take it back all the way to the first episode of the anime. The first character that we saw, Rukia Kuchiki. Now that I watched Bleach, I can finally understand how good Rukia is, and she's one of my favorite characters in all of anime. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. One of the best characters that Bleach has to offer. You talking about best girl, you always have to mention Rukia. And you have to mention the growth from being so weak that she has to have a human save her, all the way to being acknowledged by her brother with the most beautiful Zanpakuto in the Soul Society. And you want to talk about ice users? Yeah, she is the symbol. The only one, I said the only one ice user in Bleach. I'm not gonna count Toshiro. Hey buddy, come here. Do you want a strong ice user? Yeah, you're gonna want Rukia, okay? If you want a character that is plot relevant, yeah, you're gonna want Rukia. My prediction of her being a wife was correct. And you want to know why? Because she is a wife, just to the wrong man. And her design, yeah, it's cute, but it's not a pushover, okay? Underneath of that cute exterior is an absolute beast and is an S tier character. And ooh, okay, I know Soi Fon is not a fan favorite. People hate her because, you know, she's a bit of a diva. Okay, let's say that. But listen, I don't care. You know why? Because it's about time everyone acknowledges the second division captain, Soi. Fine as fuck, boy. Like, look at the design. Peak. One of Kubo's best design. This man was cooking when he made Soi Fon. A sleek female ninja, okay? And her ability is a two-hitter quitter, okay? And the Bankai is a fuck-all rocket launcher. Like, I don't understand. Why don't people like her? She is literally a Naruto character in Bleach. It's funny because, you know, she's a ninja. She's supposed to sneak around to be stealthy and undetected and take out people from the shadows. But whenever she gets caught, oh no, another minor inconvenience. Oh well, Bankai. Baby girl, I'm telling you, you're never gonna be head captain of the Gote 13. If Ichigo and his friends evaded when you were the head captain, you would have launched the nuke at them. Soi Fon, look, I'm just trying to help, okay? Just go get anger management, okay? Please, if I give you A tier, will you go do it? Thank you. But Emilio is kinda sick, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Who would have thought that the scrappy dude of the Tres Beastas was the baddest of them all outside of Harribel, because yeah, there's no competition with her. But Emilio, absolute menace. Look at the design. The mohawk and horn combo goes absolutely crazy for when she wants to headbutt you. Then you pair that up with the Sakura haircut that she got from Great Clips and the Todoroki eyes with the football paint. She looks like she would G-check you in the hallway. And you're gonna flinch in fear of being stabbed by that horn on her head. Emilio Apache gets a B tier. Alright, so up next we have Candace Catnip. So just looking at her, right, you would think that she would be the breakout star of the Bambies, but no, that goes to Giselle. Candace was the only one that was going blow for blow with Ichigo, or should I say, taking blow for blow from Ichigo, because she was nothing more than a punching bag during that fight. Actually, now that I think about it, she didn't land a single hit on him. Then you have the Gluttony Bambi that lived, meanwhile Candace got absorbed by U-Haul for sustenance, and Candace is not even the baddest one of the Bambies. It's clearly Bambietta. I don't know what pre-Bleach me was thinking about when looking at Candace, because she's low-key kind of garbage. But I guess old me saw these pair of fun balloons and went crazy. You know, my mistake, my apologies. I put her in C tier. And while we're here in the C tier, we might as well go ahead and drop off Gluttony and the Mitsuri looking John. Now that we eliminated the other beta Bambies, let's go ahead and look at one of the alpha Bambies, Giselle Gowell. That's my motherfucking woman. Alright, listen, before going into the 1,000-year blood war, I already knew the secret. I knew Giselle had a third leg, but that has little to do with how cool this character is and how bad I want to smash her. First of all, Giselle, in my honest opinion, top 7 best Stern Ridders. And that's not an opinion, that is just a fact of life. Yeah! Listen, my girl Giselle had 2 episodes dedicated to her. That's how you know she's a top dollar draw. One of the best in the business right now. And she's going into the A tier. If you had to pick one overrated character in a Bleach, it has to be Yoruichi, right? I mean, come on, she is easily the most overrated girl in Bleach, but does she deserve her overrating? Hell yeah. She has an amazing and sleek design that stands out from the rest of the characters in Bleach. But the main reason as to why Yoruichi is overrated is simply because she's black.
What did he say?
Nah, I'm joking. She's not actually black, alright? I don't want those people to get mad at me for calling her black. But Yoruichi is an inspiration to millions of black girls around the world. Hell, it's the only anime character that they can cosplay as without people being racist. But guess what, guys? Baby girl Yoruichi is a honorary black girl. And you guys can't do nothing about it, mainly because she's the only character in Bleach that will throw hands with you. But Yoruichi, an absolute icon. Yoruichi is a character that doesn't have much screen time in Bleach, but the screen time that she does have, she shines bright like a diamond. So yeah, we already know where she's going. Go ahead and throw her in S tier, top tier waifu. We go from overrated to underrated because I was not expecting to like Riruka as much as I did. I hear people talk so much shit about the Fullbringer arc, and it's one of my favorite arcs in Bleach, and one of my favorite characters from that arc is Riruka. Just looking at her, you would think she was going to be like Noelle Silva 1.0, but once you actually get to know her, yeah, Riruka is just Noelle Silva 1.0, but minus 60% of Noelle's annoyingness. Riruka is a part of a rare breed of tsunderes that are actually likable, and it's kind of cute how girly she is. This is the type of girl that owns a Barbie dream house, has a bed full of squishmallows, and don't get it twisted, I will throw her on that bed and dual wield the ponytails as I hit it from the back.
Damn.
She's going straight into the A tier. But speaking of ponytails, up next we have Lolly. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I predicted that she was a bitch, and once I watched it, my prediction was confirmed. She's a hating ass bitch for no reason. She was hating on Orihime simply because Orihime has a bigger pair of fun balloons. I have never heard of someone that hateful towards another girl. Like, for no reason at all. Like, stink. Your insecurity is showing. Get down in the D tier. Up next, we have Nemu Kurasuchi. Now, I don't really get her character. I don't really get the hype behind her. She doesn't have much character, and at best, she's just Mayuri's pet or daughter. But whenever Mayuri does summon her, she is pretty useful, you know, helping him out and shit. I didn't really get the hype behind Nemu up until I saw volume 71, and then I was enlightened because I was thinking, man, Kubo really drew this volume with his left hand in his pants. But yeah, she's going in the C tier. Up next, we have Kukaku Shiba, my fucking goat. I just know that me and her would be best friends every Saturday night, passing the blunt around, slamming shots back, just one of the homeboys. That just so happens to be a one-armed swordswoman. Like, bro, that's cool as shit. What is there not to like about Kukaku? She's the Bleach version of Baiken. They're both badass, one-armed swordswomen with huge fun balloons. And yeah, I know, Kukaku doesn't play a huge role in the series, but without her help, Ichigo and friends would have never been able to save Rukia, because remember, it was her device that allowed them to get into the Serite. So I think with all of that being said, she deserves her A tier spot. All of Ichigo's friends are irrelevant, and I'm not talking about the useful Orihime and Uryu, and I'm not even talking about the career jobber Chad. No, I'm talking about all of his human, non-powered friends. All of them. Once you say Keigo, I'm thinking about Hawks, and not this NPC dweeb. But there is one that I do like, and that's Tatsuki, because she's one of the homies, a day one ride or die, the type of homie that'll fight your fights for you, just like Ichigo. I fuck with Tatsuki, but let's be real, you're irrelevant. But I'll give props where props is due, you know? I'll give you a B tier for right now. And speaking of Tatsuki beating the brakes off of someone in your honor, we gotta talk about Orihime. Now, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Kubo, my man, I know you was drawing Orihime with your left hand in your pocket because there is no explanation for why you should be drawing her like this.
You got me.
But that's not why I like Orihime, and I'm not going to go into full detail in this video. You can just go watch another analysis video for that. But what I will say is that I like how Orihime is a ride or die, the ultimate role player, and she plays it well. Ichigo is the attacker, and he protects her. And, you know, she's not useless. She's not a sitting duck. She actually sets up screens for Ichigo, blocking attacks that otherwise would have harmed him. I think a lot of people who aren't really into Bleach just see Orihime as a pair of boobs, but nah, she's more than that. She's actually a really dope character if you actually watch the anime. But yeah, let's go ahead and give her the S tier, where she belongs. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in Hiyori and Lily Net for this because, yeah, nah, I ain't getting put on any list. You are not locking me up. The only time I'm getting locked up is when I'm getting arrested for assisted murder as I watch Ichigo choke the life out of Hiyori. Because I'm not gonna stop him, I'm gonna let him do whatever he wants. And if Berserk Ichigo tries to come after me, I'm tagging Hiyori for the assist, have her transform into the dual pistols and gun him down. When it comes to a best girl tier list, both of these characters are getting sent to the Shadow Realm. So you know how Ice Spice is only famous for having a fat ass? Yeah, that's kind of my feelings toward Mashiro Kuno for me. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I promise you, I watched Bleach. I was not watching detergent, but I can't recall a single moment about Mashiro that doesn't involve her fat ass being pressed against the screen. Actually, now that I've searched it up, she actually did have a fight alongside another irrelevant character as they took on another irrelevant character. Yeah, just go ahead and just throw her in the D tier. Or no, actually, yeah, D tier. You know, when I first laid eyes on Rangiku, I automatically knew she was gonna be one of my favorites. She is thick with all capital letters. The only woman in Bleach entitled to the mommy treatment. You know, old me spent like 2 minutes just gawking over her, drooling at the mouth, just looking at her pair of fun balloons. She's actually pretty dope and it made me like her even more. She has a very interesting storyline with Gin that really pulls at the heartstrings. And let's not forget about her tag team with Toshiro. I like to call this team Team Slam, you know, cause Toshiro is the one always getting slammed in all of his fights, and Rangiku is the type of person I want to go to the bars with alongside Kukaku Shiba, slam back a couple of shots, and then take Rangiku back to my house and slam her on the bed. Jesus fuck, I'm down bad, oh my god, I apologize. Nah, horny aside, I actually really do like Rangiku. She's one of the few characters where I've had to stop the anime because I was laughing so hard. Let's not forget about her iconic scene where she tried to show Ichigo her boobs just so she can stay in this house. Ichigo, I respect your decision to look, but it must be respectfully. Because Rangiku, that's one of my day ones. That's one of my drinking buddies. And she's going straight into the S tier. We go from one thick woman to another thick black woman, I think, don't quote me on that. But Francesca Mila Rose. When you look at tier Harribel's faction, Francesca is like the third most interesting one. So I gotta give her like C tier. And speaking of tier Harribel's faction, we got the leader of it, the Shark Queen herself, the third ranked Espada, tier Harribel. I really like her. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Spoiler alert, she's going into the S tier. Harribel is a fan favorite and I understand why. Even though her screen time was small, her impact on the anime community was massive, just like her fun balloons. Underboob so powerful that the anime had to nerf it. But nah, her design actually slaps. One of the few Espada that I'm actually afraid to make eye contact with. And her Resurrection form, I do like it, don't get it twisted, but it looks like it was ripped straight from Kill la Kill. Like, you can't tell me that Kubo wasn't drawn this form with his left hand in his pants. And I know that joke is getting overplayed in this video, but it still holds true. If you compare her Resurrection form to all of the other Espada forms, it gives off the male video game armor versus female video game armor. You know, maybe that's why Toshiro was getting absolutely dog walked by her, just completely baffled at how impractical her form is. Or maybe he was still amazed by how cool she looked when she pulled out her Zanpakuto. She's one of the only Espadas where you can sympathize with her, the only one who's not a complete dickhead. She's a team player, the only Espada who doesn't believe in sacrificing her teammates to get the victory, which makes the moment where Aizen turns on her all the more heartbreaking. Like, that was the only Espada who was a ride or die for you, Aizen, and you just try to offer. But it doesn't matter, Aizen, you know why? Because she's the queen of Hueco Mundo, and also in S tier. Up next, we have Bambietta Bastardbind. Top tier character design, simple but very, very smooth. I know the Sternritters as a faction are all dripped out, but Bambietta's drip just sticks out the most. The over-the-shoulder cape with the gloves and the matching hat just bangs. Let's not forget about that Volstandic form. Her design absolutely slaps. But then we look down at her legs and we can see where Kubo was slapping his meat with his left hand. Thighs like that, if I was Kanemura, she'd have me eaten out of a dog bowl. And you know, pre-Bleach Jet just looked at Bambietta and assumed that she was a spoiled brat from a rich household and that she has anger issues. And by the looks of it, I was right. But what I didn't know is that she has the same explosion powers as my favorite anime character, Katsuki Bakugo, and that automatically just moves Bambietta up in the tier list. But she doesn't make the explosions herself. Nah, she turns you into the explosion with unblockable explosions. You would think that she would have made it further in the war arc, but nah, that wasn't the case. She got sent straight to the Shadow Realm by her own teammates. And surprisingly, when she's reincarnated into her Zambietta form, she becomes even more likable. Sternritter E, the explosion, Bambietta Bastardbind, has earned her spot into the A tier.